Welcome back. Now, our next segment is going to discuss bereavement and the loss of a child at a very young age. If this is something at home that's going to upset you, we just want to let you know if you want to go away for a while.
Yes, our next guest is a mum of 4 who tragically lost her 3-year-old Annabelle in 2018. Since then, she has spoken out publicly about her journey of grieving and has helped parents through bereavement with her own experience.
Here to tell us her story and to talk about her recent book, Annabelle's Adventures at the Beach, it's Eileen Loughlin, and she is joined by social worker Anne Cole from Temple Street. Thank you both so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now, Eileen, can you please tell us about Annabelle?
So Annabelle was our gorgeous 3.5-year-old girl. Anyone with small kids will know the fun and the joy she brought to her life. She was just full of adventure. She was a devil. Her brother TJ, he was 6 at the time, so they were stuck together, whatever he was doing. So whether it was tractors or hurling, or she also liked the girly bits, the nails, coming for coffees with me. So she was just a great character, real fun, full of adventure, real sociable little girl.
Oh, you see that in that picture.
Can I wear it? No.
Yeah, like her jersey with her tutu, like that was just anything went. Yeah.
Listen, in 2018, the unimaginable happened. Can you tell us about that time?
Yeah, so it is really a case of, we started our Friday morning, it was midterm break. I'm a teacher, so, you know, it was a lovely week off and it was a normal Friday morning. The kids had friends down, and then all of a sudden there was an accident in our home. I heard a loud bang in our sitting room, and from there our lives just changed forever. Annabelle had severe trauma to her head. The ambulance came. Annabelle was airlifted to Temple Street Children's Hospital. So that was about 10 o'clock. And by 10 to 3 that day, we were brought in and honestly thought, you know, they tell us she's okay, but they said, Annabelle's going to die. You need to say goodbye. And our lives just changed forever.
5 hours of your life.
Yeah.
That changes everything.
She was there that morning. She was gone that evening. It was tough. You know, it's 7 years this November, and, you know, life has changed and the grieving process has changed, and, you know, our boys have grown up. We've since had another little girl, Isla. So, you know, life still keeps going. You've no choice, and anyone going through grief will realise it's really difficult, you know, to watch the world continue. But gradually you go from living day to day, and then week to week, month to month, and then you get the opportunity to do things like this and keep their memory alive. And it was Temple Street that Annabelle was airlifted to, and we got great support from the bereavement service in Temple Street.
Because in the immediate aftermath, Eileen, as you said, it was 10 until 10 to 3, and you're like, oh, I'm going in to see my little girl, and you were told that you had to say goodbye. What's that immediate aftermath like?
Pure shock. It's really, you don't know how you keep going, but we had to leave the hospital that night, go home, and then the weekend and her funeral, organise that. And then in the month ahead, like Temple Street were amazing. They came to our house, they spoke to us, they spoke to our boys, you know, they continued on. And we had a bereavement day in Temple Street with them. There was huge support from them, but also just our family, our friends, our communities, our local GAA clubs. Everyone just really rallied around us and helped support us. The following August, we organised Annabelle's All-Stars, which was a hurling tournament with the boys' hurling club, Clonkill GAA. Henry Shefflin was part of that day, and we raised a huge amount of money as well for 3 charities.
The support has been fantastic, and as you say, a community is what helps you get through this. But Anne, you work in Temple Street as a social worker. And dealing with situations like this, how do you deal with this? With Eileen and her husband Enda and 2 young children as well?
We do it as part of a team. I'm one of the social workers, but we're part of that MDT and that really holistic approach, I think, to looking after children and families. And we take that's really important to us, I suppose. So I was privileged to be there that afternoon. I met with Eileen and Enda in our ICU, along with the team, the doctors, the nurses and everybody else. Everybody's focused on Annabelle, of course. But then I suppose what's unique about us is we get to just focus on parents and families. So I met Eileen and Enda, I met their boys, Sen and TJ, I met the extended family. And we don't always get to meet families at that particular crucial moment, but it can make a huge difference because that connection's made, and then in the days and the weeks and the months afterwards. So in CHI in Temple Street, we offer a bereavement service that links parents back to the hospital. So that can be different things to different people. Every family is different. Some people get their support elsewhere, but some will get it from our bereavement service. So it can be that phone contact, home visits, information days, different things. It can go on for a year. In this case, it's almost 7 years that we've been in contact. We haven't always had an intense amount of contact because I suppose what we try to do is help families readjust and work and hold their grief. The grief doesn't change. The size of that grief doesn't change. But you live and build around that, and your family life builds around that. So you're forever grieving, forever missing your child, but you learn, I suppose, to live somehow with that. It takes time, it takes support. And this piece, I suppose, this legacy piece, that knowing that Annabelle and, keeping Annabelle alive. One thing that parents talk about is this fear that their child will be forgotten and that people won't say their name. Yeah. So they want people to ask questions about them. They want to be able to talk about them. And I think Eileen is such an embodiment of doing that for Annabelle.
Because I can imagine, because you met Annabelle, that is very different, for you. So
it's unique.
Because an awful lot of people have gone through a bereavement process and we don't think about the admin and that sort of side afterwards.
Yeah. Yes.
But when there's kind of a human connection there, that's something else. And what Anne said is just so amazing, because often people don't know what to do, especially when it's a child. Mm-hmm. And the way your head just went when you said, you want to remember, you want people to say her name, is that something that's very important to you and Enda, Eileen?
Yeah, like she only had 3.5 years to make her mark. And I feel like we can continue to keep her memory alive for us, for the boys. And it was a huge worry in the beginning, but now I know 7 years on that she is absolutely so remembered by so many people. And, this is just another little step in that. And to see, like, I've been lucky enough that obviously I get to share it online through Instagram, and to see people sending their pictures and sending me messages. I got to read it in Isla's Play School where Annabelle went as well. And it's just amazing. It means the world.
Are there steps just in terms of grieving? Because you were a mum and you had 2 older boys as well, and that doesn't stop. They're still trying to teach them how to grieve. Is that something as well, and is very important?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think in the old days we used to talk about this idea of this disbelief and shock and anger, and then you get to a point of acceptance and that's it, you're finished grieving. And that's not how it works at all, and we know that. And there are different, those early days and weeks, it's just about holding and a family holding themselves and getting through the days. We would talk about routine and school for siblings when they're ready, and I suppose meeting siblings and understanding where they're at and what they're comfortable with, involving them as much as possible in an age-appropriate way and what's going on, and then just talking. I suppose we talk about a bereavement pyramid. We talk about that a lot. And down at the bottom of that pyramid is the family and friends and the siblings and parents, and that's where people get most of their support in those early days. And we speak to that, and we'll be available on the phone and just help guide a little bit. Because like you said, just that pure shock and trauma that people are experiencing, sometimes they need practical support.
I want to talk about our legacy in just a minute. I'm just wondering, in relation to when it comes to parents, because everything is on you and you always feel everything is on you regardless of what age your child is there a lot of, blaming yourself for anything that could have happened? Like, is there a lot of what ifs? What if I done this? What if I done that? Or did you not have that?
Because I suppose Annabelle got to Temple Street. She was airlifted. There was no well, if only we had gotten her to Dublin, if only she had seen the best doctors, if only, and we got to meet the doctors in Temple Street after, and they explained to us what happened. We had hoped to donate our organs, but it all happened so quickly. And to hear that the reason why meant a lot to us, so... No, and I think you just have to... It was great for us having the boys, that you had a focus, you had to get up, and we very much consciously said we need to lead by example. We need to show them that it's okay to live our life. We always remember her, we talk about her, but you can still go out, live life. There's a huge guilt in the beginning that the first time you smile, should you look happy? And all parents talk about that. And you just have to say, no, you honour them by living. Not all of us get tomorrow. Annabelle didn't. So get up and make the most of it.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's an emotion I'm sure a lot of people go through, as you
Absolutely.
mentioned.
Yeah.
The what if,
Yeah.
the blaming yourself. But you have to get past that.
Absolutely. I suppose we talk with families about this idea, a child shouldn't die, and certainly no parent, ever thinks that their own child will die, and your job is to protect your children and your role. So there's a huge piece with parents feeling, there is that bit, there can be that what if and feeling guilty, and I suppose we work with a lot of understanding that guilt is that wasted emotion, and that really what it's about is getting to an acceptance that this awful thing has happened to you and we don't know why, and the doctors can speak to you about why your child has died, but no one can say why it had to be your child. And I suppose that's part of that journey, and being, when you're grieving, is coming to a point with support of accepting that it has happened, and then it's about you taking that with you, and I suppose that love with you.
That's very profound.
Yeah.
Guilt is a wasted emotion. That's amazing. Please tell us about Annabelle's adventures at the beach, Eileen.
Yeah, so after Annabelle passed away, I just had a notebook and I'd be writing down our memories, and I haven't got a great memory. I kind of tend to forget things. And just little phrases, things she said, days out together. And it was from there, then I came up with the idea. Obviously, I'm a primary school teacher and I'm a mother, so I have spent hours and hours reading children's picture books, and I love just the imagination, the creativity. I love them. So it just came to me that I would write one in memory of Annabelle, and this is the first one we did, and it's just kind of a culmination of all our days out together at the beach and things like that. And it's a really simple story, but I think children really relate to it, and they love telling you about their day at the beach with their family. And it is simple, but it's relatable. And
Enda, is Enda happy with
Enda's
this?
in there as well.
Enda's in there as well. Can we
shorts,
see
he's
him over
looking
here?
well.
Look at him. He's looking very buff there. Are you happy with that, Enda?
And
He's very happy with that.
Obviously, the two boys, Senan and TJ, as well, along with Annabelle. But also, I love the little butterfly.
Little butterfly.
yeah, so obviously Isla wasn't with us when we had Annabelle and we were on our adventure, so we had to kind of navigate and think, how would we do that? So we decided that on each page is a little butterfly, and that represents Isla, and she loves it. And hello, Isla. I know she's watching.
She loves talking about Annabelle, does she?
She's gas. Like, Isla never met Annabelle, but she'd be like, I miss my sister so much. It's just so normal in our house. There's pictures. Her bedroom is there. We go in and out of it. She plays with Annabelle's old toys. She wears her clothes. So, it's just, like Anne would say, a new normal to our family. It's just part of it. We talk about it. We're open. We talk with our friends and family about Annabelle, about life, about happy days, sad days.
And it's really important. That's your way to grieve with that. And so many people on social media will have seen you do this and be really open and honest about it, and will have learned an awful lot.
Gorgeous.
And for people who
So
might be
gorgeous.
watching now, who might be going through something similar to this, what would be your message?
Oh, to reach out and to know you're not alone, to know that there is support out there and that it can help. And that support can be different things to different people. It doesn't have to be this, formal setting of counselling and therapy, which can work for some people. Sometimes it's just speaking to another person. Sometimes it's just listening and being there and being present and knowing that someone out there might be going through something similar and that there is support available.
I know you're donating some the profits of this to Temple Street so that we can help other people and keep services like this going. Eileen Loughlin, it's been a pleasure meeting you. We appreciate it so much. Thank you for coming in and talking to us. And Anne Cole, social worker at Temple Street, and Buff Enda over there, who's the driver today.
With shorts as well, all right.
Thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate it.
And of course, if you've been affected by anything we've been talking about on the show this morning, you can visit our helplines, which are on screen right now.